Hello ladies and germs, and welcome to this episode on how to add environment variables and how to add locations to your path. So if we start and just write set, you will see a list of all environment variables that you currently have access to. So you can maybe see the username here or user profile where you have your home path. And more interestingly, you have this path variable which is very useful because whenever you write some command, maybe you want to run some program, like let's say I want to run Chrome. You will not be able to run it if you don't have the location added to your path here. But let's say that we would make a batch script that we wanted to run. Then we could just make that script and point the location in path and then just run it. So let's say that we will create a new script. We will write echo and then we want to echo hello. And we will put this inside what's called a bat script. So we write test.bat and hit enter. And now if we write test.bat, we will run this script echo hello, as you saw. And this we can do because we are directly in the YouTube folder where we have this script called test.bat. But if I were to go out from this folder and be outside and try to run this again, so I write test.bat, nothing will actually happen. So what I then have to do is to specify where I want to run this. So I have to write /YouTube then /test.bat and hit enter. And as you can see, we can run the command again. So, but maybe you will want only to write test.bat, and then you have to add what this path to your environment variable path. So what you then can do is to temporarily add it by just accessing path. So you write set path and then equals, and then you take your path, and onto that you use semicolon to say that I want to add a new path, and then you add, I think, C:/YouTube, and then you hit enter. And now, even if you're in the C directory or drive, you can just write test.bat and the program will run. But this is not permanent now. If we close this session and we were to open a new one, so we just write cmd here, and we try to run it again, test.bat, now from a totally different folder, it will not work, because if we write set again and look in the path, we don't have this YouTube path here. But if we want to have it permanently, what we can do is to just change our environment variables in the, I think it's control panel. So what we do is we write env for environment, search for it, and then we get edit system environment variables. And inside here, we can take environment variables and go to path. So this is just variables that I can see from my account. But if I want to set system-wide variables for the whole computer, I can do it here. So if I go to path and hit edit, and then I add a new one, and we write C:/YouTube and press OK, this will persist and be here forever. So if I hit OK now and OK, you will actually see that nothing has changed. We still don't have this new location in the path, but that's just because this environment hasn't changed for this CMD session. So what you need to do is to restart everything. So now we write CMD again, hit enter, and now if everything works, we should be able to just write test.bat, and as you can see, now we call the script. But what if you just want to add a variable that maybe you don't want to add a location to the path, you just want to add a system variable? What you can do then is to go back, so we write env and go into edit system environment variables, and back to environment variables, and we can add here, maybe you want to have something called YouTube, and then we add the same path here, C:/YouTube. So by doing this, we create a variable called YouTube that's in here, and maybe we want to remove YouTube from the path because it could be confusing to always have it there and confuse it to other scripts called test. So we'll edit here and get rid of YouTube. And then we restart the CMD session. We write CMD. And now if we write test, we will not be able to access it. But what we could do is to use the environment variable we created. So we just write YouTube here, and then a slash, and then test.bat. And as you can see, we can then run it using this environment variable, which could be very useful for other applications that just want you to set a specific environment variable. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next tutorial.